Listen closely, for what I am about to reveal is hidden from most. Yet it flows quietly within each of us, a force so powerful it can transform the very essence of life. I am Shi-Hin Yi, and today you will uncover a truth that has been guarded for centuries. Youth is not a number written in a calendar, but a state of being, an energy, a clarity, a vitality that radiates from the harmony within. Few understand that the Shaolin monks, long before modern science spoke of longevity, mastered techniques to awaken this inner fountain. Through subtle practices of breath, movement, and mindful awareness, they preserved life force and cultivated a radiance that defies the passage of time. There are stories whispered among the mountains of monks who, even in the twilight of their years, move with the vigor of youth, their minds sharp, their bodies resilient, their presence magnetic. In this video, you will discover the hidden principles that sustain such vitality. You will learn how the quiet power of breath can circulate energy through the body, how moments of stillness can restore not only your mind but your very life force, and how aligning purpose with daily practice can awaken a youthful energy that feels almost eternal. These are not common teachings, they are the secret currents beneath what most consider ordinary life. Stay with me until the end, for what you learn here can awaken a force within you that few ever experience. By understanding these principles, you are not chasing youth, you are becoming its master. Welcome to Shaolin Soulfire. Subscribe now and step onto the path where ancient wisdom meets the timeless vitality within. Every inhale carries more than air, it carries life itself. I am Shi-Hin Yi, and in the quiet rhythm of your breath lies a doorway few ever notice. The monks of Shaolin have long known that mastery of breath is not a simple act of drawing air into the lungs, but a subtle art that moves energy through the body, aligning body, mind, and spirit as one. When the mind is restless, the breath follows. When the body is tense, the breath shortens. Yet when the breath is steady, deep, and aware, it becomes a river of vitality, flowing through every cell, every muscle, every thought. There are accounts of monks who, even in the harshest winters or after grueling training, remain untouched by exhaustion, their endurance and clarity seemingly endless. This is the power of disciplined breathing, subtle, unseen, yet profoundly transformative. Daily practice begins with attention. A slow inhale felt in the belly, chest, and mind alike draws energy inward. A controlled exhale releases what no longer serves you, fear, tension, and doubt. Each cycle is a quiet lesson. Energy flows where awareness goes. Over time, this rhythm awakens resilience. The body becomes supple, the mind alert, and the spirit unshakable. Breath is more than air. It is the silent current of life itself. Shaolin masters speak of it as qi in motion, a force that can heal, energize, and renew. In still moments, when the world's noise fades, the breath becomes a teacher. It reveals patterns of weakness, urges for balance, and the hidden reservoirs of strength within. Those who honor it not only survive, they thrive. Through each conscious inhale and deliberate exhale, the unseen becomes tangible, and the ordinary act of breathing transforms into a lifelong practice of mastery, awakening energy that flows eternally within. In the midst of movement and noise, there exists a silence that speaks louder than any sound. Stillness is not merely the absence of action, it is the presence of awareness, a space where clarity rises like the morning sun. Ancient Shaolin masters would retreat into quiet corners of the monastery, not to escape the world, but to confront the mind itself. There, in deliberate silence, they discovered truths that could not be grasped in haste or distraction. When the mind is busy, thoughts swirl like leaves in a storm. Anxiety, doubt, and fear cloud perception, and energy disperses in every direction. Yet when the body rests and the mind softens, stillness gathers this scattered force, returning it to its source. Meditation becomes a vessel, holding attention gently and steadily. Each moment of quiet invites reflection, revealing the patterns that govern emotion and behavior. Through this practice, the soul finds room to breathe, to restore, to renew. Discipline is the doorway to stillness. Sitting without distraction, observing the rise and fall of breath, is an exercise in patience and control. It cultivates an inner steadiness that extends beyond the cushion through movement, speech, and choice. The ancients understood that strength is born not only in action, but in the ability to remain unmoved even when the world presses in. Stillness is a mirror. In it, one sees not only the self, but the currents of life surrounding the self. The mind becomes a calm lake, reflecting what is true rather than what is imagined. Stress loosens its grip, clarity sharpens, and vitality deepens. By embracing quietude, the seeker finds a sanctuary within, a place where the energy of life flows freely, unblocked and serene, waiting to be drawn upon with intention and grace. True power is forged not in bursts of effort, but in the quiet repetition of small, deliberate acts. Discipline is the unseen thread that weaves energy, strength, and clarity into the fabric of life. The monks of Shaolin knew that eternal vitality is not granted. It is cultivated, nurtured daily through practices that may seem ordinary, yet carry extraordinary effects over time. Each movement performed with awareness becomes a building block of strength, a posture held, a step measured, a motion repeated with care, trains not only the body but the mind, teaching patience, focus, and endurance. Similarly, what is consumed nourishes more than the stomach. It feeds the cells, the nervous system, and the subtle currents of energy within. Discipline in diet, chosen not from desire alone but from wisdom, shapes vitality as surely as breath shapes life. Thought too requires discipline. The mind, left unchecked, wanders into distraction, doubt, and fear, dispersing energy that could be preserved and transformed. By guiding attention, observing impulses, and aligning intention with action, the inner world becomes a garden of clarity and resilience. Over years, these small, consistent practices compound, creating a reservoir of vitality that withstands the pressures of time. Ancient masters taught that the body is a temple, and energy its sacred flame. To maintain this flame, one must honor the rhythm of practice, not seeking quick results, but embracing the slow, steady cultivation of habits that support life itself. Each act of discipline, no matter how simple, a stretch, a mindful meal, a moment of focused thought, feeds the energy within, sustaining it, allowing it to flow without obstruction. Through this unwavering commitment, life becomes more than endurance. It becomes a state of radiant vitality, a testimony to the power of disciplined attention, a path to the eternal energy that flows quietly, steadily, and endlessly from the mastery of self. The body is a vessel, and what fills it shapes not only strength, but the very essence of being. In the quiet halls of ancient monasteries, the monks learned that nourishment is more than fuel. It is a conversation with life itself. Eating without awareness scatters energy, dulls perception, and burdens the spirit. Eating with attention, however, restores balance, sharpens clarity, and awakens vitality. Each bite can be an act of mindfulness. The texture, the aroma, the subtle flavors, they speak to the body's needs and the wisdom of nature. Shaolin teachings guide the practitioner to select foods that sustain life rather than merely satisfy desire. Fresh vegetables, grains, seeds, and carefully prepared herbs are chosen not for indulgence but for their ability to strengthen the body, sharpen the mind, and support the flow of energy or qi within. Awareness transforms the act of eating into a ritual of care. The body senses what is wholesome and rejects what is not. By honoring this dialogue, energy becomes steady, resilience grows, and the subtle currents of life circulate freely. Over time, disciplined nourishment shapes not only longevity, but the harmony between body and spirit, creating a foundation upon which clarity, purpose, and vitality can flourish. The ancients observed that the mind and body are inseparable. When the body is nurtured with intention, the mind follows with focus and calm. When the body is burdened by excess or neglect, the spirit falters and energy stagnates. To live fully, the practitioner treats every meal as an opportunity to cultivate mastery over self, a chance to deepen connection with the rhythms of life, and a step toward enduring vitality. In this way, mindful nourishment is not merely a habit, it is a practice of reverence, a bridge between the physical and spiritual, and a path toward the enduring energy that sustains youth, clarity, and life itself. The body was never meant to remain still for long, yet motion is more than mere exercise. It is a language through which life itself flows. In the quiet courtyards of the Shaolin temples, monks practiced movements so deliberate, so mindful, that each gesture became a meditation. Qigong, Tai Chi, and other gentle disciplines were not performed for display, but as medicine for the body, a way to circulate energy, awaken vitality, and harmonize mind and spirit. Every motion carries intention. A slow, measured step, a deliberate sweep of the arms, a controlled twist of the torso. Each guides qi through the body's channels, dissolving stagnation, releasing tension, and strengthening resilience. Energy that is allowed to stagnate weakens the body and dulls the mind. Through movement, the inner currents of life are stirred, rejuvenating every cell, every thought, every breath. Movement is also a teacher of presence. When the body is engaged fully, the mind cannot wander. Awareness settles into the rhythm of motion, cultivating focus, patience, and discipline. Shaolin masters observed that those who move with mindfulness not only preserve physical vitality, but sharpen mental clarity, fortify emotional balance, and maintain the lightness of spirit that is often lost with age. Even the gentlest gestures, when performed consistently and with intention, become a bridge between mind and body. The flow of energy within mirrors the flow of life itself, constant, adaptable, and renewing. Over time, this practice awakens a natural youthfulness, a vitality that is sustained not by force, but by harmony, awareness, and disciplined care. In this way, the art of movement transforms from mere exercise into a living practice of self-mastery, a medicine that flows silently yet powerfully, nourishing the body, clarifying the mind, and reconnecting the spirit to the energy that sustains life itself. The mind is a landscape, and emotions are the winds that shape it. Left unchecked, anger, fear, and worry can erode not only peace of mind but the vitality of the body itself. Shaolin masters observed that intense emotion, when allowed to dominate, scatters energy, clouds judgment, and accelerates the wear of time. True mastery, they taught, lies not in suppressing feeling, but in guiding it with awareness and discipline. Anger, for example, burns fiercely in the moment yet leaves a trail of exhaustion behind. Fear contracts the body and shrinks the spirit, while worry steals energy quietly, leaving the mind restless and the body tense. The ancients likened these forces to rivers that overflow their banks. When uncontrolled, they flood the body and spirit with turbulence. But when observed, understood, and managed, they can flow freely without destruction, carrying insight and resilience along their course. Emotional mastery begins with recognition. Pause, breathe, and notice the currents within. Observe the rise of tension or anxiety without judgment. In this space, energy is not lost to reaction, but redirected into clarity and calm. Meditation, mindful reflection, and disciplined awareness are the tools of this practice. Over time, the mind learns to respond rather than react, to transform turmoil into stillness, and to preserve energy that might otherwise dissipate. Shaolin teachings emphasize that vitality is inseparable from emotional balance. The calm mind strengthens the body, the centered spirit sharpens the senses, and energy once drained by emotional turbulence is reclaimed. By embracing this discipline, one develops not only endurance and resilience, but a luminous presence, a quiet radiance that flows from inner harmony. In mastering emotion, the practitioner safeguards both life force and youth, discovering that true strength is born not of suppression, but of conscious, deliberate guidance of the self. Purpose is the quiet flame that illuminates the path through the days of life. When the heart knows its direction, energy flows naturally and the spirit feels renewed. Shaolin masters understood that a life without meaning is like a river without current. Motion may exist, but vitality wanes and the essence of youth slips quietly away. True rejuvenation emerges not from resisting time, but from aligning each thought, action, and intention with a higher aim. In the monasteries, monks devoted themselves to practices that served both body and spirit, yet every act was guided by purpose. Each movement, each breath, each meditation carried intention beyond the self, connecting to something larger, whether it was the well-being of the community, the refinement of skill, or the cultivation of inner peace. This alignment of action and meaning concentrates energy, allowing it to circulate fully rather than dissipate in distraction or idle effort. Clarity of purpose sharpens awareness. The mind becomes a focused instrument, the body a vessel of energy, and the spirit a steady flame. Even challenges become sources of growth rather than drains on vitality. The ancients taught that energy bound by purpose is transformative. It awakens resilience, strengthens the senses, and nourishes the soul. In this way, a clear direction is not only a guide through life, but a wellspring of enduring youthfulness, where vigor and mental clarity are restored through intentional living. When daily actions are infused with meaning, life becomes a flowing meditation. Ordinary moments are elevated into practice, and energy once scattered in uncertainty gathers into strength. The power of purpose is subtle yet profound. It harmonizes mind, body, and spirit, sustaining vitality, preserving clarity, and creating an inner fountain of youth that flows steadily, silently, and endlessly from the alignment of life with meaning. There is a wisdom that speaks quietly through the rustle of leaves, the flow of a river, and the rising and setting of the sun. Time spent in nature is not merely a retreat from the world, it is a return to the rhythms that sustain life. Shaolin masters often wandered the forests and mountains, not for leisure, but to learn from the cycles that govern the natural world. In observing these patterns, they discovered lessons that could not be found in books or teachings alone. The body itself has a rhythm, a pulse that mirrors the cadence of the earth. When disconnected from these cycles, energy stagnates, the mind grows restless, and vitality diminishes. Walking slowly along a forest path, feeling the ground beneath each step, listening to the wind in the trees, restores harmony within. It awakens senses dulled by distraction and renews the life force that flows silently through every being. Nature teaches patience and the art of letting things unfold in their own time. A seed does not rush to sprout, nor a river to reach the sea. By witnessing these processes, one learns to move with life rather than against it, cultivating patience, resilience, and inner calm. Shaolin philosophy emphasizes that the external world is a mirror of the inner self. Observing natural order nurtures balance within the mind and spirit. Even brief moments of mindful presence in nature can reset energy and realign the body's rhythms. The breath becomes deeper, the heart steadier, and the mind clearer. Each encounter with the elements reminds us that life is cyclical, that renewal is constant, and that care for the self is inseparable from care for the world around us. Through this connection, vitality is restored, the spirit rejuvenated, and the harmony between body, mind, and environment is quietly, steadily strengthened. True strength is not measured by what is gained, but by what is given. In the quiet halls of Shaolin monasteries, monks understood that the act of selfless service carries a power deeper than any physical practice. To give energy freely, whether through care, guidance, or compassion, is to awaken a vitality that nourishes both the soul and the body. The energy expended in generosity returns tenfold, flowing back as resilience, clarity, and an enduring lightness of spirit. Compassion is not a fleeting emotion, but a disciplined practice. It asks for awareness, patience, and humility. When the heart opens to others, it dissolves the barriers of isolation, fear, and self-absorption that often drain energy. Shaolin philosophy teaches that joy arises naturally from this flow. Purpose is strengthened when actions reach beyond the self. By serving others, the practitioner aligns with life's currents, creating harmony within and around them. Even simple acts, listening with full presence, offering help without expectation, or sharing knowledge become conduits for vitality. The energy once trapped in worry or desire is released, circulating freely through the body and mind. Ancient masters observed that those who cultivate compassion not only enrich the lives of others, but preserve their own youthfulness, maintaining a radiance that defies the passage of time. Through service, the self is both strengthened and expanded. The discipline of giving without attachment becomes a daily practice, a meditation in motion, and a source of inner joy. Life gains depth and meaning, and energy, once scattered in pursuit of self-interest, is reclaimed and amplified. In this way, compassion becomes a bridge between purpose and vitality, a silent force that sustains life, nurtures the spirit, and extends the natural flow of youthful energy from within. There is a quiet power that radiates from those who have cultivated harmony within, a presence that draws life and energy toward them effortlessly. The aura of youth is not a matter of appearance, but a reflection of inner mastery. When mind, body, and spirit are aligned, energy flows naturally outward, creating a field of vitality that others sense even without words. Ancient Shaolin masters referred to this as the projection of qi, the subtle life force that courses through all living beings. This radiance is cultivated through daily practice, discipline, and mindful awareness. Each breath taken with intention, each movement performed with focus, each thought tempered with clarity, strengthens the unseen currents that surround the self. Over time, these practices consolidate, forming an energy field that nurtures health, enhances resilience, and supports mental clarity. It is the living proof that youth is more than physical, it is the vitality of being expressed outwardly. The aura of youth is sustained by balance. Neglect of the body, unrest of the mind, or turbulence in emotion disrupts the flow, diminishing energy and presence. The Shaolin path teaches that self-mastery is holistic, the cultivation of physical strength, emotional stability, and mental clarity forms the foundation upon which this radiance grows. Discipline in thought, care in movement, and intention in action together amplify the natural vitality that rests within. As the inner self becomes refined, the external world responds. Energy once lost to distraction or tension is reclaimed and projected in subtle waves of health, confidence, and spiritual strength. Those who embrace this path do not merely preserve youth, they embody it. Every gesture, every breath, every act of mindfulness contributes to the quiet, steady glow of vitality, a living aura that radiates life, well-being, and the enduring essence of timeless youth. Eternal youth is not something that fate bestows, nor is it bound to the passage of years. It is a choice, quiet yet deliberate, made every day through intention and practice. The ancients understood that vitality arises from within, a force that can be awakened, preserved, and amplified by those who commit to the path of mastery. It is not found in fleeting remedies or external adornments, but in the cultivation of body, mind, and spirit in harmony. Each moment offers the opportunity to choose vitality over inertia, clarity over distraction, purpose over aimlessness. The Shaolin masters taught that discipline is the first step in this cultivation. Repetition of mindful practices, measured movement, and conscious care of the body strengthens energy and sharpens perception. Mindfulness, in turn, directs attention to the present, revealing the subtle currents of life that sustain youthfulness. And purpose provides the anchor, aligning every action with meaning, ensuring that energy flows steadily rather than dissipating into chaos. Those who embrace this path discover that vitality is self-generated. Emotions are guided rather than uncontrolled. Habits are shaped with intention, and energy is directed toward life-affirming practices rather than squandered. The rhythm of daily discipline becomes a river that carries strength, clarity, and resilience, and over time, the body, mind, and spirit reflect a state of enduring youthfulness. To awaken eternal vitality is to understand that life itself responds to conscious cultivation. Each choice, no matter how small, either diminishes or enhances the inner flame. By integrating awareness, discipline, and purpose into daily practice, the seeker transforms ordinary existence into a life of radiant energy. Youth then becomes less a measure of years and more a reflection of mastery, a vitality consciously chosen, quietly nurtured, and eternally sustained from within. Eternal youth is not a battle against time, it is a harmony cultivated within. When mind, body, and spirit move together in balance, energy flows freely, clarity deepens, and vitality is renewed each day. Through conscious breath, mindful stillness, intentional movement, purposeful living, and acts of compassion, the chosen one awakens a life that radiates strength, joy, and timeless energy. These practices are not fleeting. They are daily invitations to align with the natural currents of life, to nurture the inner flame that sustains youth, and to live fully in every moment. By embracing them, you do more than preserve vitality. You transform your presence, your actions, and the world around you. Carry this wisdom into your day. Allow it to guide your choices, and witness how life itself responds with energy, clarity, and resilience. Let each breath, each pause, each act of intention remind you that the gift of eternal vitality is already within reach, ready to be awakened by discipline, awareness, and purpose. If you found guidance and inspiration in this journey, join our community and continue walking the path of mastery. Subscribe to Shaolin Soulfire, and together, let us cultivate strength, clarity, and radiant energy every day.